Everybody. This is a small video to discuss about lossless joins and dependency preserving relationship. Now suppose we want to check whether the decomposition that we have done during normalization is lossless or lossy. Then in that case, what we need to do, let us consider that we are having one relation R and we have decomposed it into two relations, say R1 and R2. So R is the original relation and R1 and R2 are the decompositions or projections of this relation R. Now suppose we want to check whether the relation is decompositions are lossy or not. Then how can we do that? For that, check decomposition is lossy if decomposition will be lossy if we are taking the projections R1 and R2 and we are finding the union of these two. If this is not equal to R, it is not belonging to relation R, means we may get either extra information or we may lose the information, but we will not get the original relation back in this case. Then we say decomposition is lossy. Now when we say the union result of both the projections, that is R1 and R2 is equal to R, then we say decomposition is lossless in that case. Now suppose if we want to check whether the decomposition is lossy or lossless, then we can follow a few steps, or we can check for the basic three conditions that are need to be checked. So first condition says union of attributes of R1, that is attributes of R1 union attributes of R2, it must be equal to the original relation. That is, suppose there are attributes A, B, C and these are D and E, then we must get A, B, C, D, E, or the four attributes we should get in 4 to 5 attributes we should get in the original relation when we are joining the decomposition. So first condition is union of attributes of R1 and R2 must be equal to the attributes of R. So we say each attribute of R must be present either in R1 or in R2. So this condition can be written as attribute of R1 union attribute of R2 equal to attribute of R. Second condition says intersection of attributes of R1 and attributes of R2 must not be null. So when we are performing the intersection of R1 attributes and R2 attributes, we must get some attribute in common. If there is no attribute in common in these two projections, then we say the decomposition is lossy. And the third condition says common attribute must be a key. We say common attribute must be a key for at least one relation, either R1 or R2. Suppose in this case what we need to check, we check whatever attributes we are using and we have found the common attributes with the help of intersection, then it must be a key. Any of the attribute can satisfy as a key. So this condition is written as attribute of R1 intersection attribute of R2, it drives to certain other functional dependence. That is, from this we can, from the common intersection of these two attributes, we will be able to drive any attribute. Or we say attribute of R1 intersection attribute of R2 may get attribute of R2 in this case. Anything is possible. Now to make this thing clear, let us take the example. So here we say we are considering a relation R. R is the original relation which has four attributes, that is A, B, C and D. And we are considering the functional dependency. This is the functional dependency in this case, which says from A we can derive B and C. Now we are considering two decompositions. First decomposition is R1, that is attributes are A, B and C, and for R2 attributes of A and D, means this is the original relation A, B, C and D. This is the R original relation. From this we have got two decompositions R1 and R2, where R1 consists of A, B and C, and R2 consists of A and D in this case. So if we move step by step, if we want to check whether the decomposition is lossy or lossless, so the first step says we have to check for the union. So R1 has attributes A, B, C, and union, that is second one, that is A, D. So these are the attributes of R1 and these are the attributes of R2. So R1 union R2, that is all attributes of R1 union all attributes of R2. So what will we get from this union? We will get A, B, C, D, all the 4 attributes. Now have a look at the original relation. Original relation was A, B, C, D, and this was decomposed into 2 relations, R1 and R2. In R1 we were having A, B, C, in R2 we were having A and D. So when we perform union of R1 and R2, we get this thing back, that is R1 union R2, we got this relation back, that is equal to R, original relation. So first condition is satisfied. It means after performing the union of attributes of sub-relations, we get the original relation back. So once we have checked this, second condition says we have to work on the intersection part, that was attribute of R1 intersection attribute of R2. So here we have A, B, C, that was the value of A, R1 intersection A, D. So when we find intersection of these two, what will we get? We will get A. So second condition, if we have a look again, it says attribute of R1 intersection attribute of R2 should not be null. Null नहीं होनी चाहिए, anything is other is possible. So in this case, when we perform intersection of these two, R1 was A, B, C, R2 was A and D. So when we get intersection of this, we get A, means we got one attribute in common rather than getting which is not equal to null, which is not equal to 5, means not equal to null. So second condition is satisfied. Now let us check for the third one. Which was the third condition? So third condition says it holds true. We say there should be a key. Now if I specify attribute R1 intersection attribute R2, so what was that? A, B, C was there in R1 intersection A, D was there. So the intersection was A. So intersection was A. Now which was the functional dependency given to us? We were given this functional dependency. This was given as functional dependency. This was given functional dependency which says A to B and C, means from A which as a determinant we can determine the value. So in that case, if this is the functional dependency, this was chosen as key. So third condition was any intersection should result in a variable, that is a common attribute must be selected as a key. There should be a key on the common attribute. So this functional dependency says A to B, C. So A is a key in this case and we got an intersection A. So if this A is according to this functional dependency, so we can say third condition is always also true. So here we can say if we decompose this relation A, B, C, D into 2, that is A, B, C with A, D, and functional dependency in this case was A to B, C, then these decompositions are lossless. These are not lossy. Okay? These are lossless decompositions if we are having this functional dependency. Suppose this functional dependency is not there and we have functional dependency B to AD, then what happens in this case? The intersection gave us common attribute, that was A, but functional dependency is this one. In that case, along with this functional dependency, that is a lossy relationship. So these three conditions must be checked while we want to find any lossless decomposition. Fine. So next rule, So the next important thing is we have to check for dependency preserving decomposition. So if we decompose a relation R into two relations R1 and R2, it means we have a relation R and we have decomposed it into two relations R1 and R2, then all the dependencies of R either must be a part, all the dependencies of R either must be a part of R1 or R2 or must be a derivable from contribution of the functional dependencies of R1 and R2. Consider the same example in which we were considering the relationship ABCD with functional with the decompositions ABC and AD and functional dependency A to BC. Now, if we will have a look at this, with this decomposition, we say this is dependency preserving. Why this is dependency preserving? Because we are having a functional dependency, that is A to BC, which is a part of this relation. This was A to BC is a functional dependency, and this was the relation which was decomposed into two relations R1 and R2. In R1 we were having ABC, in R2 we were having A and D. So we say dependency preserving if the functional dependency is a part of any of the relation. Now if I have a look at this A to BC and we compare it with R1, so this functional dependency is true according to this, because all the attributes in functional dependency are coming from this, they are all present in this thing. So we say this is dependency preserving also. So this relationship decompositions are lossless as well as dependency preserving. Now consider one more example. In this we are having the relationship ABCD, AB, C and D, and two functional dependencies. We were having two functional dependencies A to B and C to D, and the decompositions are R1. R1 consists of A and B, R2 consists of C and D. Now check whether this relationship is dependency preserving or not and lossless or not. So firstly let us check for lossless decomposition. So according to lossless decomposition, first rule says we have to check for the union. So if I perform R1 union R2, we get A comma B union C comma D. What will we get? We get A comma B comma C comma D. So A comma B comma C comma D is true for this relationship R. We got the original relation R back. So first step is true. Let us check for second one, which says R1 intersection R2. So when we perform A comma B intersection C comma D, we will get nothing in common, which is equal to, which is not equal to 5. And what was the condition? There should be at least one common attribute, but from this intersection we are getting no common attribute. So second condition is not satisfied, that is being violated. So for that we say this condition is violated, it violates the condition of lossless joint decomposition, hence we say the decomposition is lossy. Now let us check whether this is dependency preserving or not, whether this is dependency preserving or not. So what we need to do, we have two functional dependencies given, that is A to B and C to D. They can be ensured from which relation? We are having two, if we have a look at two decompositions, R1 that is AB, R2 that is CD. Now if I have a look at the first one, that is A and B, this functional dependency is corresponding to this one. Fine. At the same time, this functional dependency is according to this one also. So this can be ensured by from any of the relation. If it is true for any one relation, then it is again dependency preserving, but in this case this is true for both the relation. So again this is dependency preserving. So we say this relationship is dependency preserving. So here we say this relationship, this decomposition is lossy, but it is dependency preserving. So hope you got idea how to find out dependency preservation and lossless and lossy decompositions. Thank you.